What did you want to be when you grew up?
I grew up in what you call the village, or in Singapore term we call kampong. So I'm a kampong boy, where we run around half naked sometimes, when we were kids, and we climb trees, we steal fruits from our neighbors. So we're just having fun. So parents, they are working people, okay, so they do not have a specific plan for us. But for me as a child, I wanted to be a policeman. Of course, now I look a bit, I don't know why. Probably it felt safe to have policemen around. I only finished senior high school, equivalent to senior high school, which is what we call A level. Okay, I was given an opportunity to go university, but I chose not to. The reason is because while I was in the army, I read an article. They mentioned about the top earners in Singapore. Okay, it was not a doctor, not lawyers, but traders. So I was very captivated then. I read a lot of things about trading. Then we read about all the old successful traders, and I was captivated. Okay, immediately after I completed my national service in Singapore, we have to serve 2.5 years then in the national service. I was a lieutenant. So there were probably 3 options then. One is to go university. Second one is to sign on in the army, and the third one to come out on your own, right? But obviously, I made my choice. So before I finished my NS or national service, I was going through the paper looking for traders. Unfortunately, most of them, they require experience, right? So I chose the next best option. I became a broker. Okay, because when I was looking through all the stories of traders, many of them actually started off as broker, runners, etc. So I said, okay, since I do not have the experience, I chose to be a broker. So I got a job before I actually completed my national service. So 1 month after national service, I joined a broking firm, okay, to be a broker. Yes, that's how I started into this business.
What was your best day trading on the floor?
Somewhere in 94, I think. I am a reasonably large trader by then. Okay, so our P&L is in millions a day. So I had multiple millions of profit. My best day, I also have multiple million losses in one of those days, bad days. Yeah.
What was your worst day like?
It's not the day that I lost the most money, but I had the most fear. That was somewhere in 1995. Baring was, they had a big position, I think, and then the trader accumulated a lot of big position and he disappeared. And he disappeared during the weekend, and then on Monday the market just tanked. Okay, and now the problem is I had a lot of put position. That was the Nikkei 2. I shorted a lot of Nikkei option puts. That's why actually when he disappeared, the Baring trader disappeared on the weekend. My wife and I were looking at each other, say maybe we will lose everything, on Monday, because it was a really large position. So we don't know how big the loss is going to be, but our fear was that we might lose everything. So on Monday was the most difficult morning. Yeah, but it turned out that bad in the sense that the market didn't tank as much as we feared.
What style of trader were you?
I think basically it's in 2 halves now. Okay, the first half of my trading career, I'm a directional trader. So I will take a direction, and I have fundamentals plus technical instruments to guide me along. And I'll take a position. The position can hold on for weeks or even months. Okay, and then in between we do a lot of scalping. Yes. So that's what I did in the first half of my career. And when electronic, the dynamic changed. One of the reasons is because we are not as close to the market, right? If you understand modern day trading, when we're in the peak in the day or older days, you are like a co-location, You are like a server sitting right next to everybody, right? You make a decision faster than anyone else except those in the pit. So outside orders coming from all over the world will come in slower. So you have the fastest time to react and the most information, because from on the floor you can see a lot of actions, right? So you will learn how to interpret all those information, and you have a lot of advantage. But once we move to the electronic, all these advantages just disappeared overnight, right? Because you are behind a computer, you can't tell the sentiment because you don't hear the screaming and shouting anymore. So I slowly switched over to a more a safer kind of trading where I did a lot of arbitrage, and then I do directional trading when I see a big movement coming, which is will happen maybe once or twice a year.
How did electronic trading differ from floor trading?
It's a bit different. Why? Because on the floor, it's very dynamic, right? You get people screaming, shouting, and like say you are the server there in a co-location there. You can buy everybody or you sell to everybody. Merely the thought, that you want to do it, you can do it. Whereas on the electronic platform, you will have to look at the screen, look at the size, and then you make a decision. And you don't get all the noises because probably for like maybe 15, 20 years of pit trading, you're so used to those noises giving you that extra decision-making advantage. But all this gone. So that was transition that is a bit difficult because it's so much quieter, right? You're behind a computer, you're in a trading room and all that. It's so much quieter.
What were the signs we were transitioning to electronic trading?
Among the floor traders, I'm one of the earliest to make the transition because I think we are enjoying floor trading, and then I think Eurex, I believe, was the first, right, to come up, and we saw that. At least I noticed that when they came in, they sort of capture a lot of volume from the market, not our market, but those in Europe. For example, when they came in, I think London Stock Exchange or London Futures Exchange at that time, they had a lot of contracts that were successful then on the floor, was taken over by Eurex. And when I look at the Eurex trading platform, I noticed their bid and ask was so tight and the liquidity was so huge, After a while, I realized that this is the direction, and people like us on the pit will be phased out soon. True enough. So somewhere about close to the year 2000, I think I already made the switch. Even before they decided to close the floor, I already trading half the time electronic, half the time pit trading, because our pit trading. The contract that I trade was Nikkei 225. Closed about 2 plus, Singapore time 2 plus, right? So after the market close, after lunch and some rest, I'll start trading Eurex in Europe. So because the hour is just nice. So it was half bit trading and half electronic. So I was making the move pretty early. So it was not so difficult, except that you don't get that noise, from the pit. Yeah.
What was your best memory?
I can remember that one with fond memory. Because why? Because we were shorting the market in the morning during Tokyo hours. And then Tokyo has got lunch break. Okay. And we were short and the market was going up against us. Now those days, the early days of Nikkei trading, the pit isn't that liquid in terms of volume, So holding like maybe 10 to 15 contracts is a lot those days. And we were holding and the market don't seem to drop, and keep creeping up. And a bunch of us were all short. And then during the break, we were all worried, said, oh, we're counting our losses, say, oh, if at this price, how much we're going to lose and all that. Just before the news flash up, Nico Securities, I remember, Nico Securities came into the bid. I gave him a very low bid, He sold. That woke everyone up of us. What's wrong, because we're all caught short, right? We bid, he sold. And then the next guy bid another 500 point lower. He said, so that was the turning point, because after that, I think the news came out that Iraq has invaded Kuwait, and that's where the market, I think, dropped quite drastically. That's where we made our first pot of gold, real first pot of gold, because the market really dropped a lot. Yeah, so that was a day. That was a day that I really remember, because we thought we are going to lose a lot of money, but that news actually saved us. So Saddam Hussein actually saved us.
Did you witness any illegal practices?
Illegal practices is like people not honoring their trades. I think these are quite often, and then we sort of know that who are the players that are not so honest, For example, there will be a guy who come into a bid. Everybody was bidding, right? So roughly there's 100 contracts there, So we roughly know that, let's say A is bidding 10 contracts, B is bidding 5 contracts. We roughly know who are the, and this broker, the order filler may come and say, I sell all the bids, I sell say it's a 60 bid, I sell the 60 bid, and then they offer 260. And some of these who earlier bidded, they just said, no, I kept quiet. No, there are players like that, So these are there are people like that. So we always particularly careful with traders like that, because we always double confirm. And make sure the camera is looking at us, we double confirm. Okay, I sold you 20, right? At 60, okay.
What life lessons did you learn?
Because I'm passionate about trading. It's my hobby, actually, So the reason why I'm still not retired, I'm 63 this year, is because I love trading. So to me, it's a hobby, just like playing golf or playing tennis, or watching a movie. To me, it's just a hobby. And I can pick to choose when to trade and when not to trade, right? I can decide like to go on a holiday. I can just shut down my computers and I move up, If I feel like trading, I can even wake up at 3 a.m. I can still trade. So it's a hobby. So I don't find so stressful as compared to people who really treat it like bread and butter.
What advice would you give to someone getting into the industry?
I think now getting into a market is more difficult in a sense that the cost is much, much higher. I mean, when we started in the 80s, imagine you can hire somebody like 1,000, even a few $100, Singapore dollars I'm talking about. Now you have to pay maybe 5,000 to 8,000, So in ours, if you are a working guy and you say your salary is about 8 to 9K, you have to make sure that when you start this business on your own, you can make at least 8, 9Ks. Right? If not, what's the opportunity cost, correct? So it's not so easy anymore. Those days, when your salary is like maybe a 1K, you make like 1.5K, 2K, is already much better than working life, So that is one hurdle. So it's difficult to get people who are well paid to give up their job, unless they really have great passion for trading, or they have a lot of money because maybe their father gave them a lot of money, But it's different, right? We built from scratch, right? I don't come from a rich family, so I built everything from scratch. So it's not so easy now. Yeah. Obviously, there are still opportunities, right? And people who wanted to start, like I say, it's best to learn from somewhere. So starting to work for somebody is the best way. Work for some firm that are profitable, right? And then learn some of their tricks. legally, legally learn some of their tricks, how to like, money management, risk management, and how to access market, etc. Learn from somewhere before you come out, because opportunity cost now is higher. Because if your pay is like 10K a month and then you're not making money, after 2 years you lost equivalent to losing $250,000, right? Is it? Yeah, or 240,000, right? So it's a lot of money to forego. So best is go to a company that has got a successful track record, learn from there, because when you're learning, they pay you, right? Sorry, that's the way I felt is the easier way. Rather than you come out on your own without any knowledge, without any money, or with limited money, there's a high risk.